Hey guys, what's going on? So today I've got an album review I've been meaning to do for a while for a CD I got a few weeks ago. And that's ARIZMENDA with Despair's Depths Descended. Also, we're listening to some Carcass in the background. Turn that down a little bit. Because why not? So, yeah. This is a really good album, and when I showed this off in the update, I didn't get to talk about it much because I hadn't listened to it yet, but I've been listening to this a lot. So, yeah. So there's the album cover. It's pretty cool, but the artwork inside is way better. You got the M in their logo right there, and on the back there's the full logo. And the track listing, there's the spine, fucking overused papyrus font, but whatever. The songs are Cresting Unborn Deformities, Taste of Purity, Sculpting Sins of a Universal Tongue, Birth, Neves, and Libations in Limbo. So yeah, there's 6 songs on here. They're all pretty long. It's a black metal album. They're from California, from the Black Twilight Circle, which I just discovered about after I bought this. So that's cool. I felt kind of stupid for just finding out about that because I fucking live in California near LA. So yeah, it's really difficult to categorize what kind of black metal this is. It's it's very if you're a fan of the more darker, more depressive side of black metal, you'll definitely not be disappointed with this. But it's not like DSPM or anything. It's not quite DSPM. It's really psychedelic sounding DSPM basically. But it's not quite just DSPM. There's still a lot of traditional black metal, a little bit of ambience, a little bit of atmosphere, and yeah, it's just an all around killer release. There's the disc. It's pretty cool, and then you got that fucking artwork on the back, which is really fucked up and weird looking, and it matches the music perfectly. That's probably the weirdest thing on artwork, honestly, but it's cool though. It's pretty fucked up, but it matches the music. Like I said, you got more artwork and all the lyrics, which is nice. It's kind of hard to read that font though, but what can you do? So yeah, I believe this is a one-man band, but they do perform live. But yeah, just super dark release. Like I said, it's very the production is very trippy and weird. It's cleaner production, but the way the instrumentation is, it's very dizzying, and it'll make you listen really closely. It's very atmospheric, like I said. The vocals have a really I can't remember the name of the dude, but his vocals are they're not very one-sided. He has a lot of different kinds of vocals. For the most part, he'll do these very Burzum-esque kind of shrieks, almost like DSBM style vocals, but with a little bit more control. Rather than just sounding like some crazy person who lost their shit being let out of a cage and going on a fucking killing spree. He sounds more they just sound more like cries of fucking agony. The guitar riffs are very melancholic at times, but also very psychedelic sounding, and it's difficult to explain, but they just have a certain exotic sounding quality to them, which I really like. And the drumming is pretty good, nothing extremely unique or special. There's a lot of Burzum, very Burzum-inspired sounding drums on here. Not the drum tone, but just the drum beats. You could totally listen to Burzum and listen to this and not tell the difference with the drums. It's just a similar drum beat. I don't know where I'm going with that. And the bass is actually the way the production is. The bass it's not super loud in the mix, but you can actually hear the bass, which is unique for black metal, I guess. I don't know, but the bass is an important part of it. But anyways, the first song, Cresting Unborn Deformities, is probably my favorite song on here. It starts out with these really atmospheric kind of chanting, almost chanting kind of moans, I guess. And then this really melancholic, depressing guitar riff, and it's very mid-paced. And then the tone shifts and it gets faster, and he starts screaming, and it's awesome. And it's a very dark song. It's and the other interesting thing about this is, I really like the, I'm trying to think of it, the more high-end guitar, when he hits the higher guitar notes, basically, his guitar tone is super unique, because it's very jazzy sounding in a way. It almost kind of reminds me of, a saxophone. It has that similar kind of tone, which is weird. But it's cool, though. It sounds awesome, and like I said, it sounds very exotic and weird for a black metal band to do. And, I really like those parts on the guitar. Those are probably my favorite guitar parts on the album. But yeah, Cresting Unborn Deformities. If you want to check out ARIZMENDA, definitely check out that song. This is also a 2016 release. I forgot to say that. So I guess I'm late to the party on this, but whatever. Taste of Purity is a really good track. It opens up a lot more fast and very atmospheric, like I said. Very trippy sounding. But the interesting thing about that song is that the way it opens up, it almost feels like an... I don't know. Like, the opening track was like an intro, the first song, and then Taste of Purity is like... It sounds like you're like entering like a fucking... like some sort of like dreamlike state or like a cave or something. I sound so retarded describing it. But when I close my eyes and listen to this album, that's basically what I picture. Like I said, it's very trippy sounding, and it's very atmospheric and weird and psychedelic, but very dark and depressing. And yeah, that's a really good track. It's very fast. But there's also one part where it slows down, and then he does these like weird, like, kind of like croaks with his vocals. He kind of sounds like a bullfrog. And he says like, "Dance with me in misery, dance with me for eternity," over and over. And there's this like the bass, it gets really quiet and the guitars go out and you just hear the bass line and the drums, and it just sounds awesome and really dark and almost ritualistic. It's awesome. Sculpting Sins of a Universal Tongue, probably my least favorite track on here. It's not bad, but I just don't like it as much as the rest of the songs. It opens up with this very hooky guitar riff, which is cool. The rest of the song isn't extremely memorable, but it's pretty good. Birth is a really good track. It has more of those high-end guitar riffs with like that weird guitar tone like I mentioned earlier, which I really like. Neves is one of my favorite songs on here. It opens up with this super fucking doomy guitar riff. It's like really down-tuned. If you like doom metal, you'll like that riff. It's super fucking just like sludgy sounding and heavy and like, I don't know, it's just really satisfying to listen to. It's a really great riff and it's a good song. The last track, Libations and Limbo, is probably my second favorite song on here. It has a lot of those more high-end guitar riffs with that weird fucking guitar tone, and it's super memorable. It's a more emotional sounding track, but like I said, it's still very dark, and I don't really know how to describe it. It just has a certain vibe to it. It's almost kind of adventurous and exotic sounding, but still very dark and very psychedelic. It's an interesting album to listen to. It's very depressing too, like I said, because it's like almost DSBM, but not quite. I would just call it a black metal album, though. I don't want to over-categorize it. But yeah, I'd give this like an 8 out of 10. I'm really satisfied with this, and I checked out some of ARIZMENDA's other material, and it's also just awesome. So yeah, and I've heard that some of their physical formats are kind of hard to come by, so I'm glad I found this at Dark Realm Records. I got it as a blind buy. So yeah, I fucking love this. This is awesome. So yeah, definitely check this out if you like darker black metal, or just any kind of black metal really. And this isn't super hard to get into. It's pretty accessible, but well, what I mean is like by accessible is that it doesn't have super raw production, but it's not like super, like light, I guess. Like it's still very scary sounding, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, 8 out of 10. Check this out if you haven't. I highly recommend it. So yeah, ARIZMENDA, Despair's Depths Descended. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.